Good morning. I want to share with you what may be some unique thoughts on autoimmunity and heavy metals. I don't think there's much question that heavy metals can be involved in autoimmunity. There's lots of research that shows that's true. My unique perspective is that the autoimmune attack on the metal is much more significant than the toxic load of the metal. And there's a couple reasons that I think that. One is just experience over 35 years of practice. And two is now that we do QNRT, quantum neural reset therapy, and we have autoimmune protocols within that, I've had about 4 patients come back to me that we had previously identified a toxic load of heavy metals on. And with those previous patients, 3 of them we had done urine challenge testing with DMSA or another binder, and they showed elevated lead or elevated mercury previously, and we did some gentle detox, and I'm all about gentle detox, not hard detoxification. We did some gentle detox with them then, which gave them a degree of improvement in their health. But when they've returned to me and I've checked them with the QNRT autoimmune system, then they've shown autoimmune to the very same heavy metal that we had previous lab testing available for. And so it was a one-to-one exact comparison. And in another case, we'd done urine porphyrin testing, which porphyrins are something involved in the production of heme in the body that's associated with hemoglobin. So we'd done urine porphyrin testing, and the results of the porphyrin testing indicated likely arsenic toxicity. And then when this person came back and I checked them with QNRT, it went to the autoimmune and to the arsenic point. So we've got great correlation with our QNRT reflex points, for one thing. And secondly, it tells me that even working on the detoxification previously wasn't enough to totally calm down their system against that metal. And so it's a whole different ball game if we have a heavy metal and we have the immune system going after it and attacking it, or we have a heavy metal and saying, the immune system saying, hi, I see you're there, but I'm going to leave you alone. Because that heavy metal is often sitting in with different tissues in the body, and that heavy metal is changing the nature of those tissues, and then as the immune system attacks the metal, it also attacks the tissue. And so the autoimmune attack relative to the heavy metal is much more significant, I believe, than the load. And so all the time when we identify autoimmune attack related to a heavy metal with QNRT, I tell people it doesn't mean that you necessarily have more of that metal than anybody else walking around. What it does mean is that your immune system has targeted that as an issue. Because if we have the genes and we have the stressors and we have the leaky gut or the other things that prime our system to overreact to something, it's going to choose something to overreact to. And in many cases with neurological autoimmunity, in other words, autoimmune problems that tie in with the neurological system, the nerves being beaten up, we see heavy metals involved in that, whether it's Parkinson's or MS or a lot of things. And MS has all kinds of triggers, but most autism, most things that are neurological related, we see heavy metals involved in the autoimmune response. So now, another way to test for that, and I haven't done this yet, but I'm all supportive of it, is Cyrex Labs has a immune reactivity screen which tests for antibodies against nickel, cadmium, lead, cobalt, and arsenic. And that would be another way to see autoimmunity related to a heavy metal. So these are my thoughts, and what we do with our system currently is that we help the person's brain and nervous system calm down. And we reset the brain to different traumas that don't allow the body to deal with the heavy metal properly, or are keeping the heavy metal around to neutralize that emotional stress. And we work with detoxification gently. But as we pull the attack away because of the immune system being all amped up due to the stresses, and we pull the toxin away, things start to calm down. And as things start to calm down, things improve. And so we've got kids with autism spectrum issues improving. We have someone with a very rare autoimmune condition seeing early improvements. We have other people with chronic autoimmune responses like the mercury, and they had neurological symptoms that showed up more in terms of anxiety. We've had several of those improve significantly, and we've got some video testimonials to that regard. So people are responding to this manner, and I definitely think there's something to this concept that the autoimmune response is much more significant than the toxic load. Now, if we worked in an industrial plant and there was some kind of accident that coated us in lead or something like that, the toxic load might be more significant than the autoimmune response. But for the most of us walking around, it's the autoimmune response is much more significant than the toxic load. So share this idea with others, because there are people, especially with neurological conditions that relate to heavy metals, that aren't familiar with this concept, and they may even go to a practitioner who uses heavy, hard detoxification, and it could be the very worst thing that's done for them, because as they bring more and more toxins up to the surface and the immune system has more to attack, and it could be devastating for their health to really flare something up. So we don't want to see that happen. If we can help you out, give us a call, 270-554-2141. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us here on YouTube. Join our group on Facebook, Drugless Support for Autoimmunity. You can go to winnerswellnesscenter.com or Winners Wellness on Facebook and click on the groups and find that Drugless Support for Autoimmunity. So interact with us. We do see people from different states. Many people come in for a week and see us, and then they may come back in 3 to 6 months and get another a week with us or a couple days with us to really get over these issues. So we do see people from out of town. So if we can help you more, let us know. I'm Dr. Michael Winners, Winners Wellness, Chiropractic Redefined.